Welcome back to my universe. In this segment, we're going to review words and how they affect us. For those of you who are familiar with the Bible, it tells you to be careful what you speak with your mouth, because you're bringing it into this world. Very true, but not just what you speak about yourself. My cautionary tale right now is, what are you bringing to your children? If you say to a child, "You're a bad child," then because you wouldn't lie to them, they are a bad child. We're told, don't tell them they're a bad child. Tell them they're a good child. What they're doing is bad. If you tell a child all his life that you're going to go to jail, you have pronounced a jail sentence on that child before they've had a chance to live. If you tell your child that you keep that up, it's going to kill you, you've just proclaimed a death sentence to that child. This is not to say that the average thing that you say or everything that you say will come about. But consider what you're saying. And not just to the child, maybe about yourself. Have you ever seen somebody that is just negative, just completely negative? Oh, it's going to happen, that's going to be bad, it doesn't matter what I do, nothing's going to work. And it doesn't. And they have bad luck. And they even wrote a song, if it weren't for bad luck, there'd be no luck at all. If you find somebody that's positive about the world, that's happy about the world, things seem to work out for them all the time. Yet some people call them lucky. Everything they do is just lucky. But part of that's the belief system that you have in your mind. Part of it's what you're speaking. You are bringing this about in your life. You are causing this to happen out of your mouth. A lot of us don't think before we start talking. A lot of us want to spill our anger. We want to share our joy. And then there's some that just blather. They just speak incessantly. A little further along, I'll go into why some people do what they do. This comes into a whole different knowledge of the mind and things that people aren't aware of. But for yourself, for your family, for your children especially, for your grandchildren, be careful the program that you're planting within them. Don't create bad people. Well, maybe you want them to be bad. It's a different story then. But the average person wants their child to succeed. Speak words of success. Speak words of congratulations. My children used to complain, "Well, you only yell at us when we do bad things. You don't tell us when we're doing good things." They were right. It was awful to find that out. I was rewarding in the wrong direction. And what you'll find is that they will do bad things to get your attention, because bad attention is better than no attention. Everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody wants to have their 15 minutes of fame, even if it's just with the family members. We want to be recognized. We want to be seen as worthwhile. How do we do this? We do this by helping them to understand that they are good, that they are going to succeed. If you look at different families, and again, money doesn't really have a lot to do with how we program our children, but it does. Circumstances, in more cases. If you're really, really poor, it's hard to have a great attitude. If you're really, really rich, you can afford to have a bad attitude. You can be arrogant. You can be, which of course you share with your children either way. We had a neighbor child that used to come play with my granddaughters, and his own profession. This is, I don't know, he's like 5, 6 years old. He says, "Well, they tell me I have anger issues." Okay, and I'm not going to say he doesn't, have issues, but most of the issues were family resolution. I had never met his dad. I never met his mother. He was staying with an aunt when we met him, and all he had seen in his life, the male role model, was abusive, was tyrannical. Evidently, his child was just like that. It was all going to be his way or no way, and get mad. And so it wasn't really anger issues. It was consideration for others that he didn't have. In visiting at our place an awful lot, sometimes we felt like we were raising the child. He mellowed out. He saw that things could be resolved different than somebody beating somebody up, or somebody breaking something because they're mad. People go to church, they learn the Christian ethics. People go to jail, they learn jail ethics. Environments have a lot to do with us, but mostly it's our words. It's what we say, it's what we proclaim. Again, if you tell a child, "You're bad," that'd be bad. That's what that little child was. Told he was bad. I reinforced with him, "You're a really good kid." That was a bad thing to do. And he would go, "Oh." And he found that he was more accepted, at least at our place. He was more accepted if he was a good kid that occasionally did something bad than if he was a bad kid that occasionally did something good. It changed his being. I guess the biggest eye-opener for me was when my granddaughter, who spent a lot of her lifetime with me, and she wasn't very old. God, couldn't have been 4 or 5 years old. Mom and Dad had got an apartment, so she was subject to Mom and Dad instead of Grandpa and Grandma. And we were on a back porch, and I was working at a little shop back there. She came on, I forget what it was, but it was the dumbest thing I never heard. Only it wasn't the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. It was the dumbest thing I ever said. It was something that I used to tell her dad. And now he was telling her. It was generational. Because in my ignorance, when I was younger, I spewed the things that I was told as I grew up. I learned from my parents. It's not do what I do, it's do what I say. But we follow what they do. We watch everything they do. We act just like them. So when I shared, I was sharing the abuse of my childhood. That changed. That had to change. Fortunately, I was able to enact and help that change. But it comes from understanding that the things that we say make a difference in the lives of others, especially those we love, or those that love us. And if you ever find somebody that loves you, that's the most precious commodity on the planet. It's something worth having, worth holding on to. So I caution you, be careful with the words that you choose to use. If you have trouble with those words, practice. Find a new vocabulary. I grew up in a household where cussing and swearing was, my stepdad used to invent cuss words. Short periods of time I was at home. He was singing in the morning. So I picked it up. Now today, through modification of things of my wife, having kids and grandkids, I try to stay away from that kind of language. I don't find it acceptable. I have friends on Facebook that for some reason seem to think that those four-letter words make them more adult. I'm not quite sure what they think. But I have to tell them, my grandkids are probably going to read my Facebook. And these aren't words I want them to see. And I'm not trying to be better than somebody or be holier than thou, but I am trying to cultivate a world where the words that I use and the things that I do have a positive influence on the world. Hopefully, this will be good information and people can help their children with the Head Start. Again, thanks for taking a minute to stop in.